Hey guys, Hellraiser here. Hope everyone is doing well. I've been having a good time down here in the country of Panama. I've recently started collecting again. And one of the things I've been collecting is special edition consoles like this PsVita. This is the white and pink version, Japanese only, but it's a special edition and I really like it. Now, one of the problems I found is when I get consoles down here in Panama, because of the heat and humidity, a lot of times there's rust inside or there's other problems. And with the PsVitas, the 1000 model and this one, the 2000 model, the speakers tend to dry rot really bad, or as I call it down here, wet rot. So I'll show you what I mean. When you turn it on and you listen, this one's not even working on this side, and this one sounds horrible. So no problem, right? Just go on eBay and replace them. No, not that easy. The only sale that I could find on eBay at the moment was $65 for two. $65 for two. And that's ridiculous. So I searched and searched and searched, tried to find a replacement somewhere. There's no replacements. AliExpress doesn't carry them. Nobody does. So what to do? Well, after checking and checking and checking, I found that the PSP 2000 speakers are very similar. Not the same, but similar. So what we're going to do is we're going to install them into your PsVita 2000. I'm going to show you how to do that and show you exactly what's involved. And what you need to have, what I have, is a soldering iron. That's not for soldering. That's for something else, as I'll show you. I also have a hot glue gun because we need to stick it down. You can use double-sided sticky tape, but it's just easier with a tiny bit of hot glue. You need these tools here to be able to take your speakers out, take everything apart. So let's get to it. I'll show you how I accomplish this. So move this all out of the way. So first of all, you want to open the top here, and you're going to take out the screws in the top. This screw here. And all the screws in the PsVita 2000 are the same size, so you don't have to worry about where they go. Now on the bottom you'll find two, so we'll take those out. Now you turn it over. On the very bottom there's four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll take those out. And I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I don't have a good tripod to put it on anymore. Now, the way I take them apart, I go from the top near the trigger button and I get a little pick and I pop it loose here, applying a little pressure. Come around the bottom. Same thing. There you go. Now when taking it off, don't take it all the way off. There's a ribbon cable in the very back. Well, this one has obviously been removed before because the ribbon cable is already out, but that's okay. And then sometimes the buttons fall off. In this model, there's nothing holding them. They just set right back there. Now, we'll put this to the side because we don't need this right now. So what we're looking at is the two speakers here. It's going to be a little hard to show, but inside there's supposed to be a little bit of foam, and you can see it coming out. You can see it there. It's all broken. That's why they're not working. So I mean, it's just falling apart. They're just dry rotted. So what I do is I just pop these out. There we go. There we go. Now let me show you the problem. Now, the problem with the speaker, as you can see, is the contacts are on the top where the speaker is. On the PsVita 2000, they're on the bottom with the speaker on this side. So we need to get them moved around. This is really not that difficult. What I do is I use my solder iron. And you see where this black spot is here? I just melt down till you get to the middle. So I just drag my solder iron right there. Until you get that little bit of plastic off where you can bend this. Okay? Then I do the other side. Right up to the black part without hitting it. Now, what you can do now is you can bend this piece. You can use your finger, you can use tweezers, you can use anything you want to. Sometimes I use my little snips very carefully. And I just bend it to the other side. Like that. Just like that. And then bend it down. Same way on the other end. That's it. Now, as you see, it's starting to look very similar to this one. Now, there's a couple more things you want to do to prepare. First, you see this little piece here? Go ahead, that little white piece, and just snip it off. It's not necessary. There, it's gone. Also, the piece on this side, snip it off because it gets a little bit in the way. And that's all you have to do to prepare the speaker. Just make sure that these are bent down where they're going to be about the same height. Okay, now let's prepare your PsVita shell. There's just a couple things you need to do. Very simple. Right here is a little piece of plastic, just a tiny piece of plastic that's sticking up. You just want to snip that off. So just take your snips, snip it off. That simple. That tiny piece of plastic. Then on this side with the long grooves, just snip off, I don't know, it's just a little past a millimeter. Very small section. Because the PSP speaker is a little bit wider. There, and that's it. Now your speaker will set right in here. Just like this, perfectly. And you just get it arranged where it's sitting perfectly. Now all you have to do is get your good old trusty hot glue gun and put one little bit of hot glue in the middle. Get your speaker aligned. Drop it in there, turn it into place, and push it down. And let it dry. Go to the other side. Same thing. Clip off the one little piece of plastic that's sticking up. On the longest side, the side with the two longer, not the short side, the long side, do the same exact thing. Snip about a millimeter in. And then about a millimeter over. Get rid of those pieces. Now I didn't do the other one yet, so let me do the other speaker. Sorry, my hands shake really bad. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Make sure there's no extra plastic there. Bend this up. I usually grab it right at the former bend and then bend it over. And that usually is just about perfect. There. And then remember to clip that little piece off because it gets in the way. And this little piece off right there. Okay. Now we're ready to put this one in. Sorry, a little bit of hot glue. No, I did not do that properly. There we go. Hold that down a second, and then we'll let it dry. And that hot glue dries really quick. So now you have the 2 replacement speakers. Okay, now that we have the speakers installed, we can put it back together for testing. I'm not going to hook the cable back up for the touchscreen. Jesus Christ. Okay, now that we have the speakers installed, we can put it back together for testing. I'm not going to connect the rear touchscreen right now, but you have to put the back on first because of the headphone jack. So you put it in like that and pop it on. And you can already hear it's much better. No crackling. So let me show you in a game how good it sounds. Flashing images. Yes, yes, we've got it. And to me, it sounds just as loud as the old speakers. It's not that hard of a mod to do. Yes, it does require a little bit of changing of the speakers and the hot glue, but in my opinion, it's much better. And here's the main reason why. Because the PSP 2000 speakers on AliExpress cost $1.50 each. That's it. So instead of worrying about these speakers, which are $35 a piece, just buy yourself the PSP 2000 speaker and watch my video and get to work. Okay, guys, thanks. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later.